This video deposition of Steve Bailey held in the case of Brenda J. Watson versus West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection et al., held in the Circuit Court of Kanawha County, State of West Virginia, case number 04-C-382. My name is Karen Smith, videographer, and the court reporter is Missy Young. Now will counsel please identify themselves.
John Fuller with the law firm of Bailey & Wyatt on behalf of defendant, West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.
Brenda Watton, plaintiff.
I swear the witness now. Mr. Bailey, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Bailey. My name is John Fuller, and I represent the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection.
Okay.
I'm going to hand you a 3-page document.
Okay.
Before we get started, I think I heard a brief discussion when we were off the record. Have you recently suffered some sort of a medical condition?
I'm recovering from brain aneurysm.
Okay. Has that affected your memory in any way?
No.
Okay. Are you on any medications today that would affect your ability to give a deposition?
No.
Okay. Are you on any medications that would affect your memory?
No.
Okay.
Junkyard, ambulance service, landfill.
Okay. And have you seen the property?
Yeah, I used to work there.
Okay. When did you work there?
I can't really remember the dates. From about the late 80s, 88, 89 till probably about 97, 98, something like that.
Okay. And while you were working for Rick's Used Auto Parts, was that when Rick was still alive?
Yeah.
Okay. Was he covering the landfill during that time?
Yeah, I was. I run the dozer in Charlotte.
Okay. While you were employed by Rick's Used Auto Parts, was dirt ever removed by the property you just described as what Brenda and Charlotte owned?
No. Their property was from the tree line up to the top of the hill, and we never took down any trees or anything like that.
Okay. What year were you hunting out there?
Probably the late 90s, 99, 98, something like that.
Okay. At that time, did you see any place where dirt may have been removed from Brenda and Charlotte's property?
No, not really. I mean, it looked about the same. Looked like they moved a bunch of cars out, but it still looked pretty much.
Who are you currently married to?
Alice Donita Bailey.
And is Miss Bailey related to Ms. Watton?
Yes.
How are they related?
They're half sisters.
Where do you currently reside?
3310 Northfield Drive, Edensport.
Has your wife ever held an interest in the property that you described as Charlotte and Brenda's?
Yeah.
What interest did
Well,
she
the
hold?
13 acres was her and her other sister, Melita's.
Okay, you said the other 13 acres. Is that the landfill property?
Yeah.
Okay, does Alice still hold an interest in that 13 acres?
No.
How did she become divested of her interest?
I think one of the DEP lawyers or something said something to her that made her make her mind up to get rid of it. That she didn't want to be charged with the liability of it.
Okay, I see.
Well,
You mentioned that The DEP used to come to the property.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between the DEP and the DNR?
They're basically the same.
Was the term used interchangeably?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said, if I heard you right, sometimes they came once a week, sometimes not for 6 months.
Yeah.
When they would come to the property, did they ever talk about tires in the trees?
They took a lot of pictures of them, like down by the pond and stuff. It was like where he took tires for like 20 years and just pushed them before there was any laws about having to cut tires. And they were just pushed in the holler up there for probably 20 years or more. And there was a lot of them that they did want removed from there, and we did remove a lot of them from up there, out of the holler.
When you say there were a lot of tires, would you think it was more like 50 tires, 1,000 tires, 10,000 tires?
Objection calls for speculation.
You can still answer.
Well, Goodyear, Roy Looney that used to work at Goodyear told me that I had cut over 1 million casings just from their company.
And those were placed in the landfill?
Yeah.
And that was just during the 10 years you worked there?
Yeah. Could take, and a list of everything that we couldn't take on a sheet of plywood, a 4x8 sheet of plywood.
Was there ever an incident where trucks came up to the landfill and told you they were burying some type of ash?
Object to the form of the question.
You may still answer.
They used to bring all kind of stuff, but ash, you know. They brought stuff from the power plants, and was some kind of, I'm not for sure, it was concrete. It would float. It was like concrete, but it was light as a feather, and it would float on water.
And were you instructed to bury that?
Yeah.
And where were you instructed to bury it?
All that was buried in between the house and straight out where the sewer pipe ran under the blue garage. That's what they filled the hole in the ditch where the sewer line ran.
And
Should we go upstairs just for a minute, please?
Yes.
We're back on the record.
okay, Steve, the stuff that was brought from John Amos Power Plant, that particular substance, was there a problem with it afterwards?
Well, we buried it, but concrete did have to have the runoff of cyanide.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
It's made out of cyanide or an off product or something of cyanide.
They told you it was something like cyanide?
Object to the form of the question.
You may still answer.
Well, I think the DP did come up there and check all that out. I mean, on one of the things, they either okayed it or didn't.
And it was just buried loose in the soil,
Yeah.
in a hole that you dug?
Subject to the form of the question.
Well, it was the ditch that we were working on the sewer line at the time before the blue building even was there. And that's what he used the dirt from the ditch to cover what they hauled in, like the days that we would get till we got the pipe in there, and then use that for the fill, and then it'd only take a foot to cover.
And